Welcome and congratulations on having been chosen to serve as a legislative page at the Provincial Parliament at Queen's Park in Toronto.
The Legislative Page program is part of the Parliamentary Protocol and Public Relations branch, which provides many services and programs to visitors, students, and members of Provincial Parliament, or MPPs. We serve all the MPPs in a nonpartisan manner. This means that as a legislative page, you are part of our team and will be expected to serve the MPPs equally and never to favor one party over another.
Nardine Sedham from Mississauga, Streetsville.
This training video will help you prepare to be a legislative page. You will learn about the Legislative Assembly, your duties, and your schooling here at the legislature. So sit back and watch the video carefully. Watch it as many times as necessary to fully understand the information provided.
When you and your parents or guardians arrive on your orientation day, you will enter the legislative building from the south entrance, where you'll be greeted by our staff. We'll introduce you to your fellow pages and the page program team. You will learn more about the program, go on a tour, get fitted for your uniform, and get your legislative ID. Most importantly, your teacher, the legislative page coordinator, will train you in the legislative chamber, where you will get a chance to practice being a page.
As a page, you will be performing many helpful duties for the Speaker, the MPPs, the Clerk, and other officers of the House. You will deliver important messages to and from MPPs and their assistants, deliver glasses of water in the chamber, and messages throughout the legislative precinct, which includes the legislative building and the Whitney Block.
On orientation day, you will learn how to do all of these duties, how to get from one building to the other, how to find the right office, and where you have to go to pick up and deliver messages. In the meantime, here are some helpful tips to figure out where you should go.
In the legislative building, also called the main building, you will see that one side is made of wood and the other side is made of marble. All of the room numbers in the legislative building have 3 digits. The first digit indicates which floor to go to, and the last 2 digits tell you which side of the building to go to. If the last 2 digits are above 51, the room you're looking for will be on the wood side.
Remembering this tip will be very helpful as you go about delivering messages to the legislative offices. Whenever a document or a message is to be delivered outside of the chamber, pages must always go to the West Lobby first to sign out at the security desk. Whenever you have to go to the Hansard office or to the Whitney Block, you must always go with a partner. There is an extra step to follow when delivering to the Whitney Block. You must also sign out in the page quarters and sign back in when returning from the Whitney Block.
There is one more area in the legislative building called the North Wing. When you deliver to the North Wing, the room numbers will have the letter N or NW after the digits. The North Wing room numbers also have 3 digits, so some of the rooms in the North Wing and the main building have the same numbers. It is very important to know before you deliver a message whether you are heading to room 411 North Wing or 411 Main Building. If you're not sure, always ask.
Whenever you go to the Whitney Block, you will take the underground tunnel with your partner. In the Whitney Block, you will notice that all room numbers have 4 digits and that the entire building is marble. The first digit represents the floor number, and the second digit represents the section number. The sections are clearly labeled on the ceilings and wall signs throughout the Whitney Block. The last 2 digits help you find the actual room in that section. Pages only deliver to the first 3 floors of the Whitney Block.
Keep in mind that there are only 3 places where pages are permitted to deliver: the legislative or main building, the North Wing, and the first 3 floors of the Whitney Block. These areas are called the legislative precinct. If you are asked to deliver a message to an area outside the legislative precinct, you must bring the message to the staff in the page quarters.
Can we have a messenger going to the chamber?
We are now off to the Legislative Chamber for training in your daily duties. Let's start by looking at the Legislative Chamber. This room is often called the Chamber or the House. It is where the members of Provincial Parliament, or MPPs, meet to debate and pass the laws that govern our province. Not all the people sitting in the chamber are MPPs.
These are chairs behind the Speaker's dais, where the assistants to the MPPs will sit when the legislature is in session. These assistants will ask pages to deliver messages for them. Pages are allowed to deliver messages to and from these people. Deliveries can also be made to and from the journalists who sit in the press gallery located above the Speaker's dais. At the other end of the chamber are the members' galleries. These seats are for the guests of the MPPs. This is where your family can sit when they visit. In order to do so, they will have to contact their MPP's office to ask for passes for the members' gallery. Visitors may also sit in the large public galleries high above the chamber floor. If a member asks you to deliver something to a person in the members' or public galleries, you may do so, but you cannot bring any messages back, as writing is not permitted in these galleries.
Pages are expected to follow established procedures and rules whenever they are in the chamber. There is a correct way to sit, bow, and move around the chamber when the House is in session. During the session, pages in the chamber must sit or stand in 2 locations. 8 pages will sit on the Speaker's dais, and the remainder will stand on either side of the main entrance to the chamber. This way, pages can be seen by everyone in the House. While at these locations, pages must pay attention as they wait for someone to signal for a page to pick up a message or to run an errand.
When pages sit on the dais, it is very important to sit up straight and proper. This means pages sit on the cushion with their feet placed on the bottom step, knees and feet must be together, hands rest on their knees with the right hand draped over the left. The hardest part about sitting on the dais is standing at the same time as the Speaker. Pages must remember to stand each time the Speaker stands. When the pages all sit the same way and learn to stand in sync, it looks very professional. Remember, all the debates are televised or streamed live, so you may also be in the camera shot. You will have a chance to practice sitting and standing on the dais on your orientation day. Many pages work together as a team and think of their own tips to help them remember when to stand.
In the chamber, pages must always be alert and ready to respond. Some members and staff snap their fingers, some wave, others call your name or signal in some other way when they want to catch your attention. These are some of the methods of communication used in the chamber without disrupting the proceedings. Pages serve all members of the House equally and must respond to the first member who asks for assistance.
When sitting on the dais, you will also sometimes hear a buzzer. This means that a page has to pick up a message from the page quarters for delivery. You will hear 1 buzz for 1 page or 2 buzzes for 2 pages. The pages sitting closest to the buzzer towards the edge of the dais will answer the buzzer. Whether you are delivering a note, picking up a document from the clerk's office, getting a glass of water, or making a photocopy, make sure you understand what the job requirements are before you leave. If the instructions are not clear and seem complicated, ask for clarification. No one will get upset if you ask them to explain or repeat instructions. Legislative ushers who are in the chamber are also available to help you if you have any questions.
When the House is in session, the mace, symbolizing the authority of the Speaker, is placed on the clerk's table. Historically, the mace was a club-like weapon. Today, it is made of copper and looks like a long scepter with a crown on one end. You must never pass between the Speaker and the mace. This is against the parliamentary rules. It is very important to think carefully about how you will get to the other side of the chamber to do your job without crossing between the Speaker and the mace. The area behind the clerk's chair is forbidden. On orientation day, you will learn about all the other ways that you can take to get around. When you make a delivery to the speaker, you must walk up the dais steps, hand the document to the speaker, right side up, go back down the steps, and wait for a response. It is important to hand the document to the speaker right side up so that he is able to read it easily.
When your business with the speaker is finished, you must always remember to bow one time. The correct way to bow is to stand straight, hands on your sides, bend the waist, and give your head a little nod. When you are delivering messages throughout the chamber, you must also remember not to stop or stand in front of an MPP who is speaking. If you must walk in front of an MPP who is speaking, remember to bow your head as you cross in front of them.
The speaker announces each part of the day so that everyone knows what is happening and in what order. For example, he will announce orders of the day or oral questions at the beginning of these times in the session. It is very important to listen to the speaker when you are working in the House. Oral questions is also called question period. During question period and during routine proceedings, all the pages are scheduled to be in the chamber. Some pages will be assigned a special post just outside the chamber. These posts include the water station or one of the members' lobbies. Pages take turns at each of these posts.
The legislative day is divided into two types of procedures: orders of the day and routine proceedings. Routine proceedings is a busy time for the pages. During this time, the MPPs will need your help when they present one of the following four documents: a report by committee, a bill, a motion, or a petition. Whenever an MPP presents a report by committee or a petition, a page must go immediately to the MPP. You must stand just behind the member, wait to collect the report or petition, and bring it to the clerk's table. When a member introduces a bill or a motion, a page must go immediately to the MPP. You must stand just behind the member and wait to receive the document. This time, you will take the bill or motion to the speaker first. The speaker will introduce the bill or motion and give it back to the page, who will accept the document, bow, and then take it to the clerk's table. You will practice how to do this on your orientation day. Make sure you study your training materials carefully to learn what you must do for each of these important key documents.
When the speaker calls orders of the day, half of the pages will remain in the chamber and the other half will proceed to class in the page quarters. Your teacher will prepare a schedule so that you will know where you should be. The PAGE program is an enrichment education opportunity. While you are serving as a legislative page, you will not attend your regular school. During your term as a page, you will receive lessons in legislative process and be tutored in mathematics. When time permits, lessons and activities may also include other subjects. In legislative process class, you will learn how our province is governed, how our laws are made, and how you assist in this process. You may also have the opportunity to meet the speaker, the clerk, the lieutenant governor, and the party leaders in a group discussion format.
One of the most challenging things to learn when preparing to be a page is the seating plan. You must memorize the seating plan before your term of duty begins. Be prepared to learn any last-minute changes that may occur to the seating plan during your term. Memorizing the seating plan will make it easier for you to be an efficient page. You'll be able to do your page duties in the chamber with greater confidence and without hesitation. While you study the seating plan, keep in mind that you need to know the members by their first and last names, as well as by appearance. You must also know the roles of the cabinet ministers. During your first week as a page, you will be tested on your knowledge of the seating plan and the MPPs. You are expected to score at least an 80% average or a level 4. At the end of your term of duty, we will send a report to your parents and your principal.
Even though you will learn a lot as a page and have many important responsibilities, you will also make new friends and have a lot of fun. Pages generally go on at least one field trip during their term to experience the city of Toronto and build friendships. There was a lot to learn and a lot to remember. The more you study and practice before you start your term as a page, the more comfortable you will feel on your first day.
Now let's talk a little about safety. On your first day as a page, or on your orientation day, you will receive your legislative ID. This will give you access to the page quarters and the legislative precinct. Only the pages in your group and the page program staff will have access to the page quarters. In a fire or emergency drill, all pages must go directly outside to the Whitney statue, located on the front lawn near the main doors of the legislative building. You will wait there for further instructions from your teacher or program staff.
When traveling to and from the legislative building by public transit, you will have to cross Queen's Park Circle. You must always use the crosswalks with traffic lights on the east side of the grounds. During your term, you will be grouped with other pages also taking public transit. Remember while traveling in Toronto to be aware of your surroundings and act responsibly. Access to the legislative building is also available by the south basement entrance located to the left of the main doors. This entrance leads directly to the lower level of the building where the page quarters is located. Open 24 hours a day, it is always staffed by a legislative security officer and is the main point of access to the building when the main doors are closed.
We are now nearing the end of the page training video. Following this segment, you will view 2 additional clips, the legislative process and the history of the page program. On orientation day, you will also receive more study material, including a training workbook. A workbook is included in your orientation binder for you to complete while watching the legislative process section of this video. This will be your first assignment and will help you prepare for your role as a legislative page. So here are a few reminders. Watch this video several times, memorize the MPP's names, their faces, and where they sit. And memorize who the cabinet ministers are and what ministry they are responsible for. Learn the process for delivering the 4 key documents, reports by committees, bills, motions, and petitions, and have a good understanding of how to find offices in the legislative precinct. There are many helpful resources and activities on the Legislative Assembly's website, including a virtual tour, an interactive legislative chamber, and fun educational games.
Just a few more reminders. On orientation day, remember to bring all the items listed in the Handbook for Legislative Pages that you received in your welcome package. And don't forget to bring your questions. On the first day of your term as a page, you must bring your math forms, your completed workbook, and your uniform pieces, which include your white shirts, black dress shoes, black belt, and black socks.
We will do our very best to make sure that your term as a legislative page is an incredible and enriching experience. You will form lifelong friendships and take home many memories that will last forever. So start studying and see you soon at Queen's Park.